So do you also wish to shortlist the candidates automatically using an AI? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we are going to understand how to create candidate shortlisting automation using AI agent. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to receive a new form submission through Google Forms, then automatically using the details, OpenAI should generate the candidate shortlisting. And after generating the shortlisting, automatically that detail should be updated in my Google Sheets as a new row. So now here to automate the entire process, I need to connect my Google Forms with OpenAI and Google Sheets using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So to see the working of this automation and to learn this process step by step, let me all take you to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, I'll show you how to automate candidate shortlisting using an AI agent. This will help you quickly identify the most relevant applicants and save hours of manual resume screening. Alright, so as you all know that as a recruiter, I receive dozens of job applications for every position I post, and manually going through each resume takes a lot of time. So by creating a candidate shortlisting automation using an AI agent, I can quickly scan and evaluate resumes based on predefined criteria like skills, experience, or job fit. This helps me automatically identify the most relevant candidates and save hours of manual screening, and it allows me to focus more on interviewing and building relationships rather than spending all my time sorting through applications. It's a huge time saver and makes my hiring process much more efficient. So here on my screen you can see the Google Forms that I've already created with the name job application, and these are the fields that I've added over here. So now here my objective is, as soon as I'm going to receive a new form submission over here through this form, then automatically the form details should be added over here in my Google Sheets like this. And once the details are added over here, then automatically these details should be shared to OpenAI to categorize the candidate in a shortlist or not shortlisted candidates. And once the OpenAI is going to categorize the candidates, then automatically the details should be updated over here in my another Google Sheet that I've created with the name shortlist status like this, where the name, email, position should be updated with the shortlist status generated by OpenAI like this. Alright, so now here I've already built an automation where I've connected my Google Forms with my Google Sheet and my OpenAI account using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So now firstly in this video we are going to see the working of this amazing automation by simply making a form submission over here. So this is the form that I've already pre-filled over here with some details such as name, email, phone number, position, interested, years of experience, location, key skills, and the cover letter. So now here I'm going to make a form submission over here by clicking on the submit, and here you can see it says thank you for your interest. That means we have successfully made a form submission over here. So let's go and check our Google Sheets, and here you can see we have successfully received the details over here. That means a new form response has been captured over here in this Google Sheet. And now here let's go and check another Google Sheet to see whether the new shortlist status has been updated in another Google Sheet or not. So here you can see a new response has been added over here in this Google Sheet where we have received the new candidate details and the shortlist status as not shortlisted and the reason behind it and the candidate summary. Alright, so with this we have successfully seen the working of this amazing automation. And now here in this video we are going to learn step by step that how you can set up this automation by simply connecting your Google Forms with your OpenAI account and Google Sheets using an automation software named as Pabbly Connect. So here to access the Pabbly Connect, you need to search for pabbly.com/connect in your browsers, and it will take you to the homepage of Pabbly Connect. So here you can see two options that are sign in and sign up free. If you're a new user, click on sign up free and get 300 tasks every month to explore the software. And if you're an existing user, click on sign in. Here I'm an existing user, so I'm clicking on sign in. Now after signing in, here you can see all Pabbly apps window where you can see all the applications of Pabbly. Here to integrate my applications, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect. Now this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, and here to build my connection I need to create a workflow first. So for that, here I'm going to click on this create workflow button given on the top right corner. Now here in this create workflow dialog box, I have to give a name to my workflow. So I'm going to give the name as create candidate shortlisting automation using AI agent. And now after giving a name to my workflow, it is asking me to select the folder. So in the left side corner of this dashboard, you can see a folder section under which you can see the multiple folders that I've already created with different names to save my workflows accordingly. So in this particular case, I'm going to select my folder as automation. So you can select the folder as per your need. Also, you can create multiple folders folders to save your workflows accordingly. So now here to learn how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect, you need to click on this learn more hyperlink given over here, and by clicking on this it will take you to the forum window where you can see all the instructions to how to create a new folder inside Pabbly Connect. Alright, now let's move back to our Pabbly's dashboard, and here to create a new workflow I'm going to click on this create button given over here. Now here in this workflow window, you can see we have successfully created a workflow where you can see the two most important principles of an automation process, that are trigger and action. Where trigger says when this happens and action says do this, that means action is a response towards a trigger. Your automation can have a single trigger but multiple action steps. Now let's begin with our automation by simply setting up a trigger. So here I'm going to select my trigger application as Google Forms, as I'm receiving new form submission through Google Forms. So Google Forms is a free tool that lets you create online surveys and forms quickly and easily. So here in my Google Forms trigger step, I'm going to select my trigger event as new response received, so that whenever we're going to receive new response through our Google Forms, then automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response, or you can say automatically this entire workflow is going to get triggered. Alright, so now after selecting my trigger event, you can see I've received a webhook URL. That means here I'm going to use this webhook URL to connect my Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So I'm following the instructions given below. First here I'm going to copy this webhook URL, and here I've already logged in my Google Forms account. So this is the Google form that I've already created over here with the name job application, and now here you can see the fields that I've added over here. So now firstly here to receive all these form details at one place, I'm going to connect this Google form with Google Sheet, and for that I'm going to click on this responses, and from here I'm going to select link to sheets, and then I'm going to create a new spreadsheet for the same. And here you can see we have successfully created a new spreadsheet over here where we have received all the fields that I've added over here in my Google Forms. So now after building this connection, I'm going to test this connection, and for that we are going to make a form submission over here. So here I'm going to copy the responder link of the form, and then I'm going to open it in a new tab. And now here I'm going to fill in some dummy details and make a form submission. So let me add the details. Alright, so here I've successfully added some dummy details, and then I'm going to click on the submit to make a form submission. And here you can see it says thank you for your interest. That means we have successfully made a form submission over here. So let's go and check our Google Sheets, and here you can see we have successfully received a response over here where we have received the entire details added over here in the form submission. Alright, so with this we have successfully tested this connection. And now here we are going to connect this Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect in order to capture the response in Pabbly Connect. So here to build this connection, you need to install an add-on on your Google Sheets account first, and for that you need to click on this extensions, and from here you need to select add-ons. Now here under this add-ons you need to select get add-ons. Now here in this Google Workspace Marketplace, you have to search for an add-on that is Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and then you need to install this particular add-on on your Google Sheets account in order to connect your Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. So here you can see it is already installed in my Google Sheets account, so I'm going to move back, and once you're going to install this particular add-on, then you need to follow exactly the same steps. Alright, so now after installing the add-on, you need to refresh your Google Sheets, and that's a necessary step. And here after refreshing the Google Sheets, you need to click on this extensions, and then you'll be able to see the option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So from here you need to select initial setup. Now here under this initial setup, it is asking me to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So for the webhook URL, I'm going to enter the webhook URL that I've received in my Pabbly's workflow, and here for the trigger column it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that raw data will be sent to the webhook URL. So here in my Google Sheets you can see my last data column where I'm receiving the data is column I. So I'm going to enter my trigger column as column I, and then I'm going to click on this submit, and it says setup configured successfully. That means we have successfully set up a webhook inside our Google Sheets. And now after building the connection, I'm going to test this connection by clicking on the send test button given over here, and it says test data sent successfully. That means we have successfully sent the first row data of our Google Sheets to this webhook URL, that means to our Pabbly's workflow. So now let's go and check it, but here before moving back to Pabbly's workflow, you need to perform another very important step to completely connect your Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. So for that you need to click on this extensions, options, and from here you will be able to see the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks. So from here you need to turn on the send on event. So by turning it on, automatically whenever you're going to receive new details over here in your Google Sheet, then instantly Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. Alright, so now let's go and check it, and here you can see we have received the tick in front of the send on event. That means we have successfully turned it on. So let's go back to our Pabbly's workflow, and here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received all the details of our Google Forms received by candidate. Alright, so with this we have successfully set up our trigger over here. So once we have received all the details through our Google Forms, then automatically I want to give these details to OpenAI to generate the proper shortlisting for the candidate. So for that I need to connect my OpenAI account with Pabbly Connect in this action step given over here. So in this action step I'm going to select my action application as OpenAI. So OpenAI is a company that develops advanced AI tools and models like ChatGPT. People use OpenAI to create content, write code, answer questions, and even generate creative ideas. So in my OpenAI action step, I'm going to select my action event as ChatGPT, so that by using this particular model, OpenAI should generate a proper shortlisting for me. Alright, so now here to connect my OpenAI account with Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to click on this connect. Here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your OpenAI account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. And now here to build a new connection is asking me to enter the API token. So here following the instructions given below, here I've already logged in my OpenAI account, and from here I'm going to access the API keys given in the left side bar. Now here under this API keys you can see some keys available over here. So I'm going to generate a new key by clicking on this create new secret key, and here I'm going to give a name to my key, that is shortlisting. And then I'm going to select the project as default project, and then I'm going to create the secret key. So this is the API key generated, so I'm going to copy it, moving back to Pabbly's workflow, and here I'm going to paste the API token. Now here after entering the API token, I'm going to click on the save, and here you can see we are now successfully connected. So moving forward, and then here is asking me to select the AI model. So by clicking on this drop down menu, you can see all the AI models available over here. So in this particular case, I'm going to select the AI model as GPT-4o mini. You can select the model as per your need, and then here is asking me to enter the prompt. So in this prompt field I need to enter the relevant prompt that I want to give to AI to generate a proper shortlisting for me. Alright, so I'm going to add a relevant prompt. Alright, so here I've successfully added a relevant prompt where I've added some instructions for the AI and the detail as candidate name, email, and some other fields. So now here instead of entering these details manually, here I'm going to map the data. Mapping data means insert data from previous step. That means here I'm going to map the data from the response that I've received in my trigger step or my previous action steps. Mapping makes the text dynamic so that whenever we're going to receive new response to our Google Forms, then automatically this previously existing detail will be updated with the new one. So here for the name I'm going to map the candidate name. Here for the email I'm going to map the candidate's email. Here I'm going to map the phone number. Here I'm going to map the years of experience. Here I'm going to map the location. Here I'm going to map the key skills. Here I'm going to map the cover letter. And lastly, here I'm going to map the role applied for. And now here after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request given over here. And here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received a message content generated, where we have received the shortlist status. Here you can see the reason and the candidate summary. Alright, so with this we have successfully set up this action step as well. So now here after generating the shortlisting, what I want is that I want to add the detail over here in my Google Sheets in a new sheet. So for that I'm going to add a new sheet over here, and then I'm going to add the fields as name, email, position, and shortlist status. So here you can see the Google Sheet that I have created, and here you can see the name that I have given over here to the sheet is status. Alright, so now here I want to add the details over here. So for that I'm going to add another action step over here, and here in this action step I'm going to select my action application as Google Sheets. So Google Sheets is a free web-based spreadsheet program that allows you to create, edit, and share spreadsheets online. So in my Google Sheets action step I'm going to select my action event as add a new row, so that after generating the shortlisting, automatically the details should be added over here in my Google Sheets as a new row. So now here to connect my Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to click on this connect. Here to build a new connection, I'm going to select add new connection. If your Google Sheets account is already connected with Pabbly Connect, then you can click on select existing connection. Now here to build a new connection, I'm going to click on the sign in with Google. Here I'm going to select my desired account, and then I'm going to click on this allow and give access to Pabbly as your data is secured with Pabbly. And authorization successful. And here you can see we are now successfully connected. So moving forward, and then here's asking me to select the spreadsheet. So here you already know that I have my spreadsheet with the name job application responses. So I'm going to select the spreadsheet as that. And then here's asking me to select the sheet. So I'm going to select the sheet as status. And then here is asking me to enter the name, email, position and the shortlist status. So basically these are the fields that I've added over here in my Google Sheet. So again here, instead of entering the details manually, here I'm going to map the data. So here for the name I'm going to map the name, here for the email I'm going to map the email, here for the position I'm going to map the position, and lastly here I'm going to map the shortlist status generated by OpenAI. And now here after entering all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request. And here you can see we have received a successful response. That means we have successfully added a new detail over here in our Google Sheets. So let's go and check it. And here you can see we have received a successful response where we have received the name, email, position and the shortlist status generated by OpenAI. Alright, so with this we have successfully set up our entire automation. Now here let me summarize the whole video for you. So here we have selected trigger as Google Forms and action as OpenAI and Google Sheets. So that whenever a new response is received through Google Forms, then automatically using the details, OpenAI is going to generate the shortlisting. And after generating the shortlisting, automatically the details are going to be updated in our Google Sheets as a new row. Alright, so these were the steps to how to create candidate shortlisting automation using AI agent. I hope these steps were clear to you. Now if you want to use the same workflow, then you can find the clone link in the description box below. I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Not only these applications, you can integrate many other applications with Pabbly Connect. Now if you have any doubt, then you can email us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any query, then you can write it at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit www.pabbly.com. Now if you liked the video, then please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.